Okay, game 4 here, and it seems like some kind of peasant thing you want to do, right? I have 5-2 on the board, and I considered going for the trading post to get thin, because you want to get thin, I presume. And I don't know, there's suits here for gold and forge for tricks, maybe. That's about like the big things you could do on the board, to me anyway. So I have the 5-2, and I thought about trading post for the thinning, as I said, but there's a better trasher on the board, and that is forge, and there's a nice way to get to forge on 5-2. You buy a capital. So capital is 6 money, but you have to take 6 debt every time you discard it. So if I open a capital, I'm guaranteed to pick up a forge whenever I see that capital, which will most likely be on my next turn 3 or turn 4. So on the 4-2, my opponent, not 4-2, 4-3, my opponent picks up a peasant guy. So one thing with this peasant, there's been some more talk recently about keeping your disciples as disciples and not actually going for teacher, not going all the way to the end of the line. And more and more people are talking about this. The idea seems to be getting a bit more popularity, and of course, um, people are saying, okay, there are some boards where that would be, the better thing to do. Getting teachers, setting it aside, then calling it is really just a waste of time. And a disciple. Disciple is a real good card. So, and sometimes you don't need to put the token on anything, particularly because the board is strong enough. So that is a thought that has been gaining popularity recently. Stopping at the disciple and not actually converting into teacher. I don't think I'll do that here. I think I do want the teacher. The board really, it doesn't have draw, right? So you have to make your draw from something, whether it be hamlets or pawns or secret passage. Speaking of which, that's what my opponent opened with, the secret passage and the peasant. So the secret passage is good for this peasant upgrade. It filters, right? It draws 2 cards. You choose one of the 2 to keep in your hand. It's like a small forum, which is good for this conversion. And not only is it good for the conversion, but at the end you have a pile of secret passages in your deck, so you could, probably stick a nice token down there on that for yourself. So we see my opponent has 3 of those already going for that rapid conversion, and I don't quite have the rapid conversion. In fact, because of this capital, I will be quite poor, meaning I can't get to 4 so easily to pick up secret passages myself. Of course, I would love to, but I don't have that option really. What I am going to do though is pick up pawns. I'm going to pick up pawns when I can. So here will be 1 secret passage and 1 pawn. So I'm planning to make the pawn pile one of the piles that I target down. I picked up a hamlet early for this reason here, to avoid terminal collision, but I am not going to trigger this shuffle. I can't let the soldier miss. The forge could miss, that's fine, but there's no way I can let the soldier miss. So I'm just going to play the soldier here and cut my losses, pay off some debt, whatever. In the meantime, my opponent has picked up a capital and I believe a forge as well, so I am, however, a little bit ahead on the trashing, so this is a nice hand for me here. I can pick up some 2 cost here, whether it be peasant. I don't want to actually pick up another peasant right now. I want to pick up a pawn just to keep cycling through my deck. I don't want the peasant to stop me right now. My opponent is a little bit ahead on the conversion rate, right? Obviously because he has the secret passages, so I want to kind of stay close to him in that regard. If I take the peasant, it'll slow me down a little bit, and I don't really want to do that, although, maybe I should have done it. I have the traction advantage, right? Maybe it wasn't terrible to pick up another peasant there. Because like I said, I'm aiming for a lot of disciples. The more disciples I could get, good for me. So, yeah, this is my soldier and the fugitive come out in the shuffle, so that's real good for me. I'm gonna convert both of these, of course. So here I have 9 and 2 buys, which is a lot of money, and could be a couple secret passages, and I think that is what I go for here. There'll be a lot of time to pick up pawns. My opponent isn't interested in the pawns at all, so I don't feel I have to worry about that in any way whatsoever. He really seems to be interested in going after the secret passages, which he gains another copy of here with his disciple. So that's real good, right? You go through 4 cards, pick 2, and get rid of 2. Pretty good. Secret passages are small for him, and it's a nice little filter card. Alright, so this is the first part of the game, right, where we are rushing, well, trying to go as quickly as possible up to the teacher and put our tokens down on things, and then from there we could see where to go from that point. So I think we both have we've both picked up 2 peasants each, and we're pushing that up, so we'll have just the 1 disciple and 1 will be a teacher. So right, this secret passage, I'm gonna bottom this copper, and I'm very glad I did that. I was planning to top deck the pawn to set up my next, and I don't know what I was setting up for. Then I decided, you know what, go look for the disciple, and I found the disciple. However, I have to disciple a forge, which is not the ideal. I would have preferred to disciple a pawn and get another pawn out of it. But, you know, I'm not going to see the value of this second forge until the end game, where it could give me some pile control. But right now, it's not the best thing to have a second copy of that. But I'll keep it around, you know. I can't even forge the forge into anything. There's no 1 cost. I can't get a province, or there's no platinum or anything, so that's even more cumbersome. I suppose I could get a trading post and trash one of the forges, but yeah, I'm not going to do that really. If I have 5, I'll probably pick up like the last secret chamber or something. It's not secret chamber, secret passage, secret passage. So my opponent has put on his teacher, and I actually get a bit lucky here, and I'm able to put down my teacher right after him. So not too far behind in that regard. I actually am, you know, pretty okay with the position I'm in, given that I opened with the capital, right? I'm pretty happy with how my deck is at this moment. So 4 and 2 buys, not gonna pick up the last secret passage, rather have the pawns because I want to stick a token down on the pawns, so I need to increase my pawn population. So here my opponent sticks the plus card token down on his secret passages, and now this is like, well, the second part of the game, right? He's effectively converted these secret passages into labs, of which he has 6 or 7 in his deck. So that's a lot. That's real good. Right, so the decision will come for me on the next turn on where to put my coin token, and we'll talk about that then. This turn for my opponent, I believe he goes ahead and he gets rid of his capital at this point. He has his forge, right, and he's able to draw a lot of cards now, so he's able to forge very nicely a bunch of things. I believe the capital goes here. No, I was wrong. He doesn't get rid of the capital. He gets rid of some estates and coppers to pick up the last secret chamber, and he still plays his capital here. We both have a 3rd peasant now, so we're going for more disciples, of course. So this here, I put plus coin on the pawn because, well, the idea of a pawn peddler was cute to me, but that's not right. That is not right. You put your plus card token on the pawn because I underestimated how well I could draw my deck. And not just that, but you should put the plus card token there because you can make use of the overdraw in this game. There's soothsayer, which will gain you a lot of golds, or trading post if you like, which will gain you silver, and you will want the draw to be able to draw those golds and silvers or whatever. So that is a mistake, and that's actually the key mistake in the game for me here. Put in the plus coin on the pawns instead of the plus card, because then I would have effectively converted my pawns into labs. I'd have drawn a card and probably used card action until I could see that, alright, I'm probably safe to draw the end of my deck here. And is actually a lot more flexible than his secret chambers, right? His not secret chamber, God, why am I stuck in the past? Secret passage, because his secret passages are stuck as labs. They can't do anything else. But my pawns could do other things. They could give me plus coin if I, if I only need 5 of them to draw and I have 3 left. Hey, I could get coins and buys out of you guys now. His secret passages can't do that, right? Also, I can gain pawns with my disciple, so I have an attractive target for my disciple, and yeah, get lots of benefit out of that. So this is the turn I was talking about. My opponent forged his capital into a soothsayer, used his disciple on that, drew back the goals he gained that same turn, and now I can't I can't deal with that kind of money, right? My pawn peddlers are cute, but they can't deal with just the raw power of gold. So this is a lesson in why draw is important, why they tell you get your draw up in an engine. So I'm going to disciple this pawn here again because I feel like I could get through the deck, and I can actually get through the deck here, but I can't do much with it. Like I did also want to forge my capital away, right? But on the turn which I put the coin token on my pawn, I wasn't able to draw all the way through, and I had a kind of dead hand with 2 forges and some coppers and whatnot. If I put the plus card on the pawns, I'd have drawn everything, been able to get rid of my capital, put soothsayer, I'd have been able to get like half a turn advantage there, I feel. Instead now I'm like a turn behind, I feel, because I'm now picking up my soothsayer here and a province as well. So yeah, the advantage of the overdraw here is becoming more and more apparent, right? That is where my opponent started to take the game away from me. Like I was a step behind on the teacher thing, but because I feel like my target pile was the pawn, I should have been able to do better. Not only that, because I had the forge from earlier, I would have had a little bit of an advantage, I feel, but I chose to put the plus coin there, and that's not right. That was not the right move. So another teacher call for my opponent sticks the plus actions on Hamlet. I mean, he doesn't really have much more targets. He has a couple soothsayers, but he also has a couple Hamlets. So I mean, you could stick it on any one of those and be okay. I do have a bit more variety. I have a few secret passages. I am planning to stick the plus card on that because I need to. I realize now, oh shoot, I'm getting junked. I need to be able to draw and keep up with the junk. Potentially he could put 3 more creases into my deck this turn, and I have to be able to deal with that. As it is, he only puts 2 in. And here, this is something, like I didn't consider this with the game, but you should, you absolutely should, right? Don't sleep on Triumph. Do not sleep on Triumph. Triumph could get you a lot of points. I think this gets him 6 or 7 points, because he gained that many things. Do not sleep on Triumph. That's a big player, especially, obviously, when you could gain things. So here I do finally get some draw in my deck with the 3 secret passages. These peddlers are coming along here, and actually at this point I have to use my disciple on secret passages. I would love to use them on pawns, right? But I don't think I can afford to do so because I need to draw and keep up with this cursing. If I don't do that, well, I'll just get buried and lose, right? So now that I see the Triumph play, I actually want to try to make the Triumph play. It isn't going to be as great as his because, well, I have one less soothsayer. I do have a couple more forges. And in fact, I'm actually going to choose not to play the soothsayer and convert it into a trading post because I don't want to give him an extra card. He gave me an extra couple cards and it got me out of a bad situation, so I don't want to return the favor. It is very unlikely because he has 100 secret passages in his deck, which are now labs. But, it could happen, right? He's been gaining gold rather quickly there. He could see a bunch of them in one hand, and his soothsayer and his forge. I mean, it's not entirely out of the question. So here I am just trying to gain a bunch of things to make up for the for the triumph. I do Miller province here. I have to play the game as short as possible if I want to have any chance of winning. So if he stalls here, then I could maybe work out something on my next turn. I do have a couple disciples now. Maybe disciple forge, grind out 2 provinces, then disciple another forge, grind out 2 more. And then maybe buy the last one. Maybe. It is all a long shot, but I have to play to that now. I can't keep up. Pawn peddlers are cute, but they can't deal with the raw power of gold. Cannot deal with that at all. So this is another issue with the teacher here, right? So we are kind of running out of piles to stick tokens down on. So yeah, like my 2 main piles are gone, as are his. Actually, he just has 1 main pile, the secret passage. So what do you do with the teacher at this point? So this is another argument for holding on to your disciple, right? Like, is it really worth, sometimes in some cases, putting 1 token on something? Is it? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. You have to make that decision, right? So here, my opponent does something very similar to what he's been doing for the last 2 or 3 turns, right? He actually has a couple more peasants or something now, I believe. Or last turn he had it, and he converted them into soldiers. He's going to play his couple of soothsayers, and then soldiers after that will be worth, what, 3 and 4 respectively? He comes up with quite a bit of money, 19 or something that goes for, no, 21, where he has to pay off his debt. And it only comes up to 17 and a few buys. But that's more than enough to pick up double province and triumph. And just put him in a real good position to get the last provinces. I don't think I could get just 23 points or something, whatever I need. When I was able to draw through to the end of my deck here, it was, I could only see myself reaching up to like 10 points short of him or 8 points short of him. So, yeah, this was the right call from him here. I can't win, right? I can't take the last province and get enough points to finish off the game. So this is the correct call from him. And this is my final turn of the game here. So I would like to try to disciple forges and go for some big annex play here, and again hope he stalls, right? That's my only out at this point in the game. But I don't think I could do that. I think actually end up using my disciple on 1 secret passage, and then I try to see how far I could get. I'm able to get quite far actually, but I used my disciple on a hamlet near the end. There wasn't really any point to using it on the forge. Well, I could have got an extra point of the triumph, right? But that really wasn't mattering at this point. It was inconsequential. So what is going to happen on this turn is I'm just going to pick up some duchies and buy a triumph. That's effectively it. I could forge this teacher plus the estate that I have from my previous triumph into a province, but of course that is losing because I don't think I could get enough points. So yeah, like what is it? I think it's something like triple duchy and triumph or something for me, and pray, right? You have to add that pray part at the end as you play. Triple duchy, triumph, pray. But I don't know if my opponent stalls or not, but he just plays 1 secret passage and just slaps down 4 gold on the table and buys the last province to win. But really, the turning point of the game was me putting that coin token on pawn. That is bad. That is wrong. Well, not wrong, right? Wrong in the sense that it's suboptimal. It's not the best thing you could do for your deck, and you have it very clearly portrayed here, the advantages of having a deck that can draw a little bit more versus one that cannot. So at least I hope the video was instructive in some way on, the value of draw. Actually, Mixinock is the one who first showed me this, sticking your plus card token on something to get a lot of draw out of it. Because I remember seeing him play a game early on with adventures, right? And this man was just picking up ports. And you know, they usually call people idiots for just buying villages, right? And this is what he was doing, and I was very confused. But then he had his peasant, and it eventually became a teacher, and then he put his card token on the ports. And then the game was different. The game was different, it was magnificent. And ever since then, I realized, oh, this is actually quite powerful. Obviously, I didn't, remember my lesson, but now I have a reminder, so hopefully I won't make the same mistake next time. Not to say that you always have to use the plus card token. Sometimes you won't need to use the plus card token, but oftentimes you will have to, and you need to make that judgment based on the board and the situation. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next game.